Well, I've been on the T3 for 6 days now. No extra head, you'd be glad to see. Bad enough looking at one without looking at two. I wouldn't say I've noticed much of a difference yet, but you know, I'm taking, if you see the, well, you've seen the size of the tablets, they're really small. I'm only taking a quarter of one of those. I could have taken a little bit more, but I'm thinking, you know, slow and steady. I'll just stick with taking that quarter for this week, and next week I'll up it to taking a half, split through the day. I'm going to leave the NDT at 1.5 grains for now. And I've got, I did order the other boxes. You know, I was saying about the pill boxes and I had a bit of a moan a while ago about the rubbish ones. Well, I did order more, so I've got the whole of this month sorted out. And even if I have to add a little bit more T3 or take away a bit more T3, you know, it's easily done, isn't it? I'd say for the day before I started taking it and the day I took it, my heart was pretty bad. I would say it was on a par to when I was on beta blockers, or prior to being put on beta blockers, of having atrial fibrillation. Because it's not just, for me, it's not just palpitations. It's erratic heartbeats. It'll thud and thump, and it will race, and then it'll go really slowly, and then it kind of beats. So it'll go bum, 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 bump. So you know, in between there's some really quite lengthy gaps, and which can be quite disconcerting. And yeah, it wasn't very nice. So Sunday night I didn't sleep hardly at all through the night. We weren't sure if I was going to have to go to the hospital. That threw, you know, that didn't make things any easier, the thought of going to the hospital, because then all I could think of was I'm going to have to explain them on NDT, they're not going to agree, I'm just not in the place where I want to argue about it. So building it up in my head before I'd even done it. So anyway, we didn't go to the hospital. The next day I thought, you know, a bit tired. I did kind of, from past experience, I did kind of expect to have a few more erratic heartbeats through that day, because that's how it used to happen for at least a few days before I had ablation therapy to burn off all the, I don't know what they're called, just all the naughty bits in my heart that were trying to send signals when it wasn't their turn. So yeah, that was the beginning of the week, and see, from Tuesday onwards I haven't had any gosh, touch wood, I haven't had any problems with my heart. But you know, it's going to happen, I imagine, especially when people go hypo. They can, heart palpitations and irregularities can be quite common, and also if they go hyper as well. So it's just to be expected, I suppose, but we'll see where this takes us and how I feel when it happens. There's no point thinking about it or thinking about what if this happens, what if that happens, because it might not. It's no point comparing myself to other people, because you know what happens to them might not happen to anybody else. So we'll just see. Anyway, I've been sent this life test. So we'll find out if this additional T3 actually helps or not. So far, so good. We rent where we're living at the moment, and we haven't particularly liked it, but it's a roof over our head, and that's what we've always told ourselves. And it's been able to accommodate our family and when my family come down to visit. So we've been very, very lucky, because there are people who are less fortunate. And it's just been a big crybaby to be, oh, I don't like my house, and I don't like where it is, and I don't like the way that when I stand in the kitchen I can open my arms wide and actually touch both sides of the wall, and that I can't cook with the baby in the kitchen, and I can't, you know, moan, whine. Okay, get the picture. It's not perfect for what we wanted, but it was a home, you know, for us. It was a roof over our head. We've been here 5 years. We've been very lucky. I think the reason why being here was such a shock is because the place that we were in last time, it was really beautiful. It was like something that you'd see in old films or on a jigsaw. And the place we're in now came up, and for me at the time it felt like a lesser of two evils. We moved in with the intention it was going to be a oh, do you know what you call it? You know, where you it'll do for now and then until you find something else. But then obviously, you know, I had work, then we had William, and you know, just like things get in the way, and then it's a year, then it's 2 years, now it's 5 years, and you know, everything's broken in the house. We're constantly fixing things. We're constantly phoning the agent, can he fix things? Then he sends somebody around who must be the worst handyman. I mean, handyman is just really not what he should be called, because he's really not handy. So yeah, he either bodges it up or just makes it worse. So, but as I said, we were lucky to find it. So moaning about it is just ridiculous, and it's pointless, because we've got a roof over our head, we've got food in the fridge. There are people worse off. You don't have to switch on the TV. You don't have to walk through town to see. So I just really annoy myself, because I feel like, who the hell do I think I am? I'm not entitled. I'm not entitled to anything. Everything that we have, we're lucky to have. And I keep having to remind myself and not let myself slip. Anyway, get to the point, Bonnie. So, we've been thinking ever since we moved in here about moving away. We both, particularly me, but we both like Devon. Andrew really loves the countryside. I love the sea. This place is far too far away from the sea for me. It takes about an hour and a half, something like that, to get to the coast from where we are. And for me, that's just too long. People here don't seem to think that's long. I think it's really long. And I used to be able to walk down, okay, it's the Irish Sea, but I love it. And it was the Mersey, which I know is only an estuary, but it's water, and there's boats coming in, ships sailing in. I just love it. I just love the water. I just love it. And you know, for me, I could walk. It used to take a few minutes to walk down to the promenade, and you could walk all along to the end and round, and oh, I just loved it. And I love that the wind in your face, and I love when on a really stormy day and the waves crash over and you get soaked and then you have to sit on a bag on the way home. I love it. But no, it's like a whole trip out, and you know, those of you with small children know that it's never just a case of jumping in the car and just going, is it? It's like a great big palaver. So anyway, so one of the things we talked about before I was actually pregnant was the fact that we were going to try and move to the coast. We've pretty much over the years visited, driven past, stayed in most of the coast down the south of England, and the place that we love the most is Devon. There's just something about it, it just captures me. I just really love it, and we've always talked about going down there. Unfortunately, we don't actually have Devon money. Well, not for the coast anyway. But the thing is, it don't have to be exactly on the coast. We could be a bus journey away. So if Andrew didn't feel like going for a walk down to the coast, we could jump on the bus with the baby and we could be there in about 20 minutes. So I'm not saying that I want a big house on a cliff overlooking the sea. Even though if that happened, I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't say no. But just somewhere big enough for us, about 20 minutes distance away would be great. Anyway, I digress again. I'm going off on one again. So this is how it's been. And we've been talking seriously recently about, should this be our year? Should this be the year that we do it, we move away with the baby? He's 2.5 at the moment. And, you know, we were thinking this would probably be a good time to do it. The place that we've got in mind, it's got basically everything you need. It's pretty flat, so, you know, we could stay there forever. The baby could do water sports, he could do rock climbing. There's activity areas nearby. There's you know, a short, not that far away, there's you know, like Creeley, like, which is like an adventure park, which is great. You know, there's plenty to do. There's theatres, cinemas, there's decent schools. And so we thought, should this be our year? And then we hummed and hawed about it, and we were like, oh, you know, because we've got the car's on its last legs. It's making all sorts of funny noises. It's limping along, and it's going to go any minute. So we were thinking maybe we should do the sensible thing. We've saved a little bit of money that we could put to the car and Part-X it and get another banger. And just another cheap run around, but that's in better condition than the one we've got now. So what do? Car, moving away. So we hummed and hawed, we were backwards and forwards on it, and eventually we thought, well, you know what, let's move away, let's make the break. We made this decision this Monday just gone. The same day that I sent some information about a programme that would help children engage more in school, those children who are finding it a little bit difficult, maybe with some social or emotional problems. I'd accidentally come across it somewhere else, read up a little bit about it, thought, wow, that's amazing, and sent it to my boss. And then on the Tuesday she comes to see me to say, would I be interested in doing the training? And it hadn't even occurred to me that she'd think about me. I just thought there'd be somebody who'd been there longer, more experienced. I don't know, and plus it was so expensive. I think the initial training in the licence, I think it was £2,000, and you know, and then all the other additional costs to go with it after that, and any further training was additional money for each thing, because it was a bit of like an add-on type of thing you could do. So I was a bit shocked. So said that, you know, it sounded great, but could I go on a taster session? And she was fine about that. So that was on the Tuesday. So I went home, talked to my husband. We decided we would stay in this house and that I would do the training, then stay at the school for at least another year and a half, 2 years. That decision was made Tuesday night. Go into school on the Wednesday, into work on the Wednesday, and during first break I was checking my checking my emails, and there was an email there from the estate agents that we rent the house through to say, no explanation, just saying that our contract would be terminated and we would need to vacate the property on the 3rd of May. So what are we in now? Just the beginning of March, April, May. So that doesn't give us an awful long time. I've got to say, I must have gone absolutely, I mean, white, if it's possible, whiter than I am now, and had to leave the room. Felt like I was going to throw up, because I just thought, what's going to happen to us? How are we going to move? How are we going to do it? Just everything you can imagine was going through my head. Just sort of like got through that day. I mentioned it briefly to my boss, what had happened. Went home, had a big talk to my husband, and I feel like it's almost like the decision about moving has been taken out of our hands. You know, God, the universe, the powers that be, have kind of gone, you know what, you two, we're really sick of all the chit-chat. Now, you've got to move. You haven't got a choice. And it kind of left us with that decision of, do we use the little bit of money that we've put aside to get something locally and stay here where we are with the baby in the preschool he's in and he's enjoying it, in this job that I've really enjoyed. It's the first job I've enjoyed for years and years. Or do we still make this, break now? Because we know that if we put our money into a place now, that it could be quite a long time before we scrape together enough money to be able to afford the removals and the deposit and everything to move to the coast in a year or so. Also, another factor in that was I going to definitely be put on the course? Because if I was, we would stay. So I emailed my boss, explained the situation, I just really wanted to get an idea of if she was serious about me doing the course. as that would be quite a big factor in where we set up home. And but I said to her I'd understand, you know, and it was, you know, quite out of the blue asking really. And she got back pretty quick, and she was saying that unfortunately with the time of year it is, which is the end of the financial year, they've got an awful lot on. She knows it's really expensive to do the course. She would be really interested in somebody doing it. So it changed from from me doing it to like somebody doing it. But she wouldn't be able to really make a decision until I think it was around about mid-May. And I understand it's because, you know, the end of the financial year, and then they know what their budgets are. So the only thing with that is we need to be out of here the beginning of May, and she wouldn't be able to tell me till mid-May. So it's like, what do we do? What do we do? So do we find something locally, or not right locally, but maybe in one of the villages outside of where we are, in the hope that I get put through the training and stay in the school that I really enjoy working in? Or do we take that as a sign to move on? There's no way I'd be able to afford that training ever again. But who knows, I might end up somewhere who sees something in me and thinks she's the one. She is the one that we want to put on that course, and we'll pay for it and she'll be smashing. You know, it could happen. It could happen. It just feels like it's such a decision. Now, this is, you know, one of those big decisions that you have to make. Not the, you know, do we get cornflakes or Rice Krispies? You know, those shopping, you know, those big decisions that most of us know when we're standing there. We don't want to be shopping, and you're looking at the cereals in the cereal aisle thinking, oh, which ones to get this week? And you end up throwing the same one in anyway. You know, this is like a kind of one of those biggies. I just don't know what to do. No. And I know this is happening for a reason. That's why I'm smiling. And it's really funny because I told my mum the other day what had happened, and she was like, you seem okay. And because normally I would be a mess. Because you know me, I'm emotional. If I'm upset, you know about it. If I'm happy, you know about it. Confused, pretty much every video. I don't know, something's different this time. There's no point. There's absolutely no point in getting upset. I'm frightened. I'm nervous of making the wrong choice. We have a 2-year-old and I've got a stepson. It's not just, if it was just the two of us, it wouldn't be that much of a problem. So obviously I want to do the right thing. I'm not in the best of health, and the old brain doesn't work as well as it used to. You know, my husband's not in the best of health either, and I really don't want his health going downhill. I almost thought I was going to have a panic attack the other day. I thought it was a return of an old, I won't say friend, but yeah, I thought they were rearing their ugly heads. And it was really funny because I could remember that the feeling, the tightness coming in. And I just thought, no, oh no, not right now, thank you very much. I haven't got time for this. I haven't got time for a panic attack. I haven't got time to be ill. You know, we've got a matter of weeks, really, for me to find the right house and for us to make the right decision. So no panic attacks welcome here. Thank you very much. Afterwards, I might have a meltdown, you know, when we're in somewhere, but then, thank you. So that's where I am at the moment. We're going out today. We've got a list of about 5 houses to just go and have a little drive. Everywhere that I phoned up over yesterday afternoon, my original list, I either couldn't get through, or the people didn't know why it was still on there because it had been let weeks ago. One had been let just before I'd got on the phone. So, you know, it's kind of been going like that because obviously there's a need. But there's a few still left on the list that didn't quite make the first draft. But they've been put back on, and we're going to have a little look at those today. And then we just need to have a big talk. We're going to make a list, a fors and against list of, you know, where do we want to be and why. I am leaning towards this. It feels like this is the time for the coast. The heart part of me is telling me this is the time to move to the coast. It's going to be really difficult if we do, because I'm also going to have to find a new job at the same time. And obviously it's about an hour and a half drive to where the kind of area we want to be. So it's not like here where we can just go, oh, let's go here tonight, and let's go there tonight and have a little look. My husband doesn't seem as enthusiastic about it at the moment. So obviously if both of us aren't on the same page, then it won't be happening. So there's obviously some concerns that he's got at the moment. And, you know, if we don't go now, we'll go at some point, I'm sure. If not, there's always weekends we can go down to the coast and visit. So anyway, I'll keep you posted. Just in case though, anybody got a tent? 3-bed tent, 3-man tent, or a caravan. See, that would be another option, wouldn't it? To stick everything in storage and go into a caravan. But is that fair with a 2-year-old? How cold would they be? I'm freezing in a house with the heating on, so I don't know what I'm going to be like in a caravan. But then regarding the baby, it's an adventure, isn't it? I mean, and actually, for some reason, I would love a caravan. And I don't know, say what you like, I would love a caravan. I'd love a mobile home. I would love to travel. We've travelled quite a bit through Europe when we did have a bit of money. But I would love a mobile home to go through Europe again. I'd love to travel through America. Just sort of spiral from the outside inwards to see everything. Canada, oh, just love Canada. And I'd really love to go to New Zealand as well and drive around in a camper van in New Zealand too. Who's that? You know, we might do it, we might not, it might just be a dream. We'll see, never say never. But at the moment, I feel kind of upbeat. I know I'm quite stressed because I've had a headache for the last 2 days. I'm surprised at how I'm taking this, because this isn't how I'd normally take it. I think I'm obviously getting a lot of help from somewhere to keep me calm. But I'm just thinking there's no point fighting against it. It is what it is. What'll happen will happen. I can scream and shout, stamp my feet, get angry. That isn't going to be helpful. It's not going to find us a place to live. And it's really just not going to change the circumstances. Things happen. You're living rented. You know, the people are going to want their house back at some point. It's just like you renting a house, you know, the people must be a bit insecure sometimes of, oh, you know, are the people going to move out? Life is just life. Things happen, and this is just happening at the moment. And we'll get through it. You know, we'll get through it. We'll end up somewhere. Something will happen. But I will. I'll keep you posted. Take care. Bye.